Hi guys, Emily here with Orchard Creek Homestead. So I've mentioned in a few videos how poor our garden has done this year. So I have some stuff to do out in the garden today. I have some stuff I need to pick. So I thought I would take a few moments to just kind of address the issues with our garden this year. So if you've seen some of our older videos where we were at the old house, we've always had a bit of a rock star garden. We've always spent the time over the winter making sure that the soil was amended. Usually we use chicken manure, like we cleaned out the coop twice a year and we'd put the chicken manure on the garden over the winter and stuff like that. Well, I think a lot of what the problem was this year, because we really didn't have things growing, I think a lot of the problem this year was our soil. So I'm going to flip the camera around and kind of show you a little bit. So like I said, here is our garden. And I think the biggest illustration here is with our tomato plants. They're very sickly tomato plants, very spindly. And I think a lot of that has to do with, again, our soil. So we moved into the house last June. We didn't have a garden last year, which killed us because Rob had a garden for as long as he can remember. I've had a garden for as long as I can remember. And not having a garden was rough on us. So we wanted to make sure we had the space to get something in the ground this year. So what we did was we had our ground that we had covered in field dirt. And that's not field, but fill, so F-I-L-L, dirt. And then we topped it with wood chips. So essentially what we did was we took dead soil, put it on the ground, and then covered it with like a very acidic wood chips. And that's all we did. And we found that nothing really grew well unless we moved away the wood chips from it. So that was mistake number one, was not giving it enough time for everything to kind of decompose. But what we did essentially was take a dead substance, the fill dirt that has no nutritional value, no nutrients in it or anything, topped it with something that, again, had no nutrients in it, and expected things to grow. And they did not grow. And I mean, in reality, it's not a surprise because, again, you know, you take a dead thing and there's nothing in it to help it grow. So I think that is the biggest reason why our garden did not do so well. So, you know, next year we're going to take more precautions. We're going to... So we'll probably have a good year's worth of chicken manure we'll be able to put on top of the garden, let rest. And also I'm doing my worm bin, vermi composting in the basement. So we'll be able to use that as well. And also I'm going to do a comfrey tea and put on top as well. So really just pack the ground with nutrients over the winter so that when spring gets here, we are good to go for planting again. And I really expect next year to be a much more rock star garden. So I would say all in all, we've probably done about a fourth. We've had probably a fourth production of what we normally have from a garden. The biggest thing has been our tomatoes. That has been a huge loss for us because, you know, we usually put up a lot of tomatoes, stewed tomatoes, to use all winter long. So that's definitely going to be something that's disappointing this winter. The only things we've put up were cucumbers. We put up some pickles. And then I have enough jalapenos that I'll be able to do some pickled jalapenos. And we did get some miniature spaghetti squash. I picked those last night. Those are just the rotten ones that I left here. And we do actually have a watermelon, a little miniature watermelon to be picked. But I'm going to go ahead and pick everything and kind of show you around. So these are our poblano peppers. Usually we get 30 or 40. We're getting 2 this year. Our jalapeno plants are tiny, but they are full So I'm going to go ahead and pick those. I'll probably actually pull up the whole plant. Our raised beds were another disappointment. We planted these 3 or 4 times with various stuff and nothing has come up. You can see one little seedling there. And it's weird because we actually bought bagged dirt. So there's probably 6 bags of dirt between these 2 beds and nothing came up. I remember hearing someone else's video saying that they think that there was an issue with a lot of the bags of dirt available this year. So I wonder if that's something to do with it. But here is the miniature watermelon that I'm going to be picking today. And I'm very excited about it. Caleb's going to be excited about it. It's just a cute little miniature watermelon. And I go with the miniature varieties. Even when we were on the coast, I went with the miniature varieties of watermelon because it's usually later in the season when we plant these. Usually when we've already pulled up something else, we'll plant these here. So we needed something that grows quickly. We just came in and replanted okra, which is actually doing really well. We do have a miniature butternut squash forming. It's about the size of my hand, so I'm excited about that. And I mean, our trellis did well. We did have quite a few cucumbers. And then we had these little guys, which are a sour gherkin. I'm not really sure how to use those, but I'm definitely going to pick them. So yeah, that's it. That's what happened with our garden. I'm going to go ahead and pick everything. And like I said, I think our biggest issue was just dead dirt. Alright, thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time. Alright, bye guys.